Bill and Pete to the Rescue, written by illustrated by Tommy DePola. For all my friends and from New Orleans, Colleen, Sally, Kenneth Holman, I love her books. Okay, so there was a lot of excitement on the banks of the Nile, where William Everett Crocodile, who was called Bill, and his friend Pete, who was his toothbrush, lived with Bill's mama. What in heaven's name is going on? Mama asked. Little Jane Allison Crocodile was missing. Pete said little Jane was Bill's cousin. How terrible, Mama said. Where can she be? At least she wasn't taken to Cairo to become a suitcase. Pete said the bad guy is still full of jail, steal the sacrificed eyes from the museum, but he's the only one who steals crocodiles. No, he's not, said the old crocodile swimming up the news. The bad guy's big bad brother is still here from the United States, and he steals crocodiles too. He took little Jane Allison. I saw her being loaded on the Cleopatra, the harbor on the hippo, ibis, and a camel. Oh my goodness, Mama said. What shall we do? It takes like that. Her father, here we are, not in a suitcase. Come on, Bill. Let's see what we can do. Okay, Pete, Bill said. Let's go. Now, B said, Pete, be careful. We will. They mustered. They found Cleopatra in the harbor. Smoke is coming out of the smokestacks, Bill said. PC, it's getting ready to leave. We have to get on board now. Wait, Bill said. I have to write a note to Mama. He finished writing and put a note in the bottle and sent it to the Nile. Bill and Pete snuck onto the ship and became stowaways. And now, wait here, Bill. Pete said, I'm going to fly around and see what we can find out. Pete flew all over the ship. He saw sailors working, waiters serving up the big chairs. He saw rich and ladies sitting in the railing. He saw bad guys, big boy's brother. Pete flew back to Bill. He's here, all right, Pete said. I heard him and is taking hippo and ibis, camel, and crocodiles to the United States of America. Cousin Jane, Bill said, we have to save her, Pete. We will, Bill. We will. But Cousin Jane and the others are locked up below. We can't do anything until we land. The next day, Pete flew over the deck again. The bad guy's big guy, bad brother, was taking a rich lady. All of a sudden, rich lady's handbag flew off her arm. My handbag, she screamed. All my jewels. Pete flew down and grabbed the handbag just before he hit the water. He flew back up and held it forward and grabbed it and Pete. Oh, you sweet little bird. You saved a fortune. For your reward, I'm going to take you home with me in my big, beautiful mansion where we'll take good care of you. Before you knew it, Pete was hanging in the rich lady's stateroom. Poor Bill. He waited and waited for Pete, but where could he be? Thank goodness there's a bunch of bananas nearby. Days and days went by. No Pete, poor Bill. And poor Pete, day after day, swinging in the cage. Hoot, hoot, went the ship's horn. The Cleopatra had left the ocean and still wailing Mississippi, a dock for a big city. A big door opened. Bill crept up and looked up. He saw cages being put up a big truck. Cousin Jane was in one for them. Then Bill saw Pete in the bird cage being carried by a rich lady. She got into the big car and drove off. I better try and save Cousin Jane first, then it'll be Pete save him, Bill thought. As soon as it was dark, Bill crept off the ship and headed up to the big river in the direction of the truck and gone. He left the big river and swamp, and finally came up to the swamp. Hey there, what you doing? What kind of gator are you? I'm William Everett Crocodile, but Everett calls me Bill. I've come here now with the big ship and Cousin Jane. She was kidnapped by a bad guy, big bad brother. Well, how do we do? I tell you, Perry Alligator. You are in the Decatur Bayou in the great state of Louisiana, the United States of America. A whole bunch of us gators live here, so you just don't have to come with me, cousin. We'll have to do to get some help. By the way, you can call me Bubba. So Bill and Bubba swam deeper into the Decoy Bayou and to meet all the other gators. Meanwhile, in a big mansion in the garden district of the city, the rich lady carried Pete up the stairs to the lovely room top of the house. Up here at the top, Bertie, you'll be able to look at the sea city. She put Pete in a fancy bird cage. She made sure he had a fancy bird seed. She even brought radio so Pete could have company with her if it was out. A big moon filled the night sky. Pete looked out over the lights of the city and tears rolled down his check. It is lonely up here at the top, he said to himself. Under the same moon, Bill and Gage's cousin came up to a plan. One Garrett knew what Bad Guy's Big Brother's boxing exotic animal farm was. They would go there and free the animals. Pete was so sad. He gazed out the window, listening to the music and the radio. We interrupt this program to bring the news flash. A large group of alligators coming over from the lee from the French Quarter. One of the gators, bright green, not like any gators we've seen in the parks before. Bill shouted at Pete. Just then, Maid came in. Here I come, Bertie, to clean up your cage. But first, let's go open the window and let some fresh air in here. And let me out, thought Pete. Sure enough, as soon as the maid opened the cage, Pete flew out and flew out last, and now to find Bill. There was Bill at the head of the line of the alligators, heading toward the BGBBB Exotic Animal Farm, followed by the reporters and photographers. Bill, Pete shouted, flying down the front. Oh, Pete, I'm so glad to see you. Bubba, this is my best friend Pete, I told you about. Happy to make your acquaintance, Bubba. Now let's go get him. Bill and Pete and the gators stormed the gates. Bad Boy's big brother helpers ran over the saw of the alligators, and there were cages and exotic animals. Why is it against the law? There are endangered species, and they are grabbed Big Boy's brother and held them until the police came in. Come on, Pete said. You've got to find Cousin Jane. They looked around the cages, and they saw him, now a crocodile, very rare. Cousin Jane, Bill shouted. We'll come to the rescue, Cousin Bill. Jane Allison. A big crocodile crawled over the next little Jane, so there was a cousin had been telling him about. How brave to come all the way from Niles to save your little cousin. I need to live on the banks of the Nile, he told. Have you lived here with all your life? Yes. This is Pete, my toothbrush. This is my best friend. Full name is William Everett. William Everett. Big cousin said, do you live with your mother and father? Just my mama, sir. Bill said, my father captured by the bag by Bacaro. He's a suitcase now. Oh, he isn't, the big crocodile shouted. William Everett, I am your papa. Before you were hatched, Mama and I sat it on your name, and the bad guy caught me and sold me to the big bad brother, and had been here all the time. Papa, Bill said. William Everett, Papa said. What a scene, ladies and gentlemen, where it said all these exotic animals held captive for years are now free. But what is going to happen to them now? They will have to go back where they belong. Stay tuned and we'll bring you up the news update story unfolds. Baba spoke up. Bill, your papa, your cousin Pete, of course, stay at the bayou for us. Oh, thank you, Baba, but Mama will miss me. Baba said he promised to get back and pet Pete. Who's in charge here? The booming voice said. I'm a rich lady who had heard everything on the radio and rushed right over. I'm sending all these animals back to the home, first class. To you too, Bertie, said, looking at Pete. Goodbye, cousins, goodbye. Papa and little Jane, we all will come back hear ya, shouted Bubba. What a homecoming, flags flying, birds playing, confetti in the air. There was Mama, waiting on the docks. Oh, Bill and Pete, what heroes you are. Look at what we must, Mama. Papa, my dear husband, I miss you. Papa hugged Mama. Now you can all live happily ever after as one big family, Papa said, because Bill and Pete came to the rescue.